Well, hello there, and thank you so much for watching. This is Whizbang, your host for
You hear that?
Biomutant
It's called
Lore.
quiet.
And this episode, we are delving a little bit into the Dead Zone and what exactly made the Dead Zone. I mean, yes, obviously oil sludge, but from what I've been looking at, it's like there was an explosion, or like they've discovered this boiling hot oil chamber underground. I'm not really sure. I don't really feel like magma works that way. Or not magma, but like oil and such. But in this episode, I'm going to be talking about my speculations on this beginning first part of the Dead Zone before you start getting into any of the Enkati Fortress. So this will be Dead Zone Part 1. Uh, Somewhere in the title I'll have that relatively, but mainly I'm really concerned with this giant mountain. It looks like half of it is, you know, nice and decent. Well, kind of. There's a fortress here by the Jagni, but we're gonna visit here in a minute the Bionucleus 6D, which is a power plant for like a nuclear power plant. I was gonna say nuclear radiation, but no, just it's a power plant. So I don't know if that has anything to do with what blew up here. I don't believe so because it just looks like it's toxic and wasted around, just like the other one down towards the end of the dead zone, past the Enkati tribe and all their fortresses. But my main concern right now is after you get down from the chug yard, we are at leftovers, which is right under here of the mountain, and it's this giant pool of oil, which I'm wondering leftovers of what? Why is this little spot called the leftovers?
Pace yourself.
And I mean, you have see like we have like hospital. Sure looks like some hospital patient beds in here, so I'm not really sure what is what this is supposed to be. If it's like, it just doesn't make sense for the name of leftovers to be just this one spot when technically all of it's leftovers. So I'm trying to look for some sort of evidence for it to be Toxinol was here at some point or another, you know. And I really haven't. I mean, obviously, as you can see, these are all just, it's just bedrooms, and there's like the hospital chambers down below or apartment buildings. But this giant crater is really suspicious to me. And I've been really
Got
speculating
just enough
how
slack in the
much
line.
were the humans fighting, when the world was ending, quote unquote. I know a lot of them were leaving on spaceships, but, I'm sure that was only, the privileged few. Everyone else was kind of having to fight for resources or just dying in the environmental havoc that was consuming the land. But I mean, look, another house, just normal apartment housing. I'm tried just looking at these smaller levels to see if I can find any little information. So I don't really. I was hoping that leftovers when I was exploring this earlier it was anything to do with toxinol. Leftovers of what they did, and maybe show what the hell happened and like what started this. Because obviously I don't feel like they just dumped all their sludge right here. I feel like a pit opened up. Maybe where they were dumping exploded or leaked everywhere. But, well,
The
yes it
world is
is, my
waking up
friend. Yes
with
it is, my
dawn.
little automaton. What I want to know is why did this oil, was it rivers of oil? And if so, it just eroded all of this. Which makes me wonder if there's a large, like oil, like hot oil leak that technically just, carved out this entire gorge that I'm walking through. Because it seems that it was like a flood. Like it flooded the entire land with hot oil. And you can we'll walk down here, but there's the Munch House 6C, which is at Fuhu, and then we'll end at the city scenario, which there's another city scenario up above the land, but pretty much just what's left of any city parts down in this eroded area. What's left of the land, or what I'm assuming didn't get, you know, hit with the oil right away, is where the Ankati, made their bases. And so, did it immediately just eat away the land? Or was it over time it just oozed and melted the land away into just slimy oil? I don't believe that's how oil works in real life, but I'm very curious because it doesn't look like there was a... I'm almost wondering if this whole mountain exploded. Or like leaked, or just crumbled, and a giant oil slide just consumed everything. So that's my two theories so far. Well, I wouldn't even say two. I don't believe there was an explosion. I feel like the whole mountain, either where they were storing all this oil or where they're harvesting all this oil.
Go
Don't you
stretch
call
those
these clunky? These are
Mecton legs.
state of the art. Yeah, I feel like the oil just maybe even they dug too much of that mountain out to where it just crumbled and leaked all over this entire city. As you can see, it just sunk down into here. Houses, cars, freeways, entire high-rises just sunken in. I believe down in here is a... We'll check it out real quick. You can go and see, oh yeah, the squib hole up. Yeah, squib hole up. That's a whole hospital, just like caramelized underground here. So I really feel that it was, especially the more I talk about it, which is why I like these lore episodes, is just really hot, nasty sludge just crumbled out of the mountain or whatever facility or mining operation that Toxinol had been taking these guys from, or taking this oil from. Because, I mean, like, you can just see, like, look at this trail. And maybe it's been over time, as it didn't immediately happen, but, like, it just cut right through here. Sucked all these little,
Stand up on your own 2 feet.
cars down and below. So, I know that earlier though, our automaton, look at this cool little hack grind. He talks about how Toxinol would just dump their sludge out into the ocean and other spots, which obviously that's what they did. But I feel like this was not so much of just a dumping, this was some sort of spill, like a giant spill, like covering and sinking this entire city. Like, this is what...
Now this is
Morida. Oh,
call a
nice one.
Morida.
It just, like, it almost got so hot it sunk. Oh, I got all these little bastards on me. Excuse my language. Like, it looks like this whole area just sunk. As you can see, this was ripped off from up there. It's still pointing upwards. And I really do feel like this hot sludge just eroded everything and just sunk it like a big old sinkhole, tearing through the land. And luckily, I'm feeling almost it just destroyed right here, destroyed this entire freeway, and then went out into the ocean. I believe this is, or was, the ocean. Part of it. And, considering why it's so covered in sludge. And all this other stuff, luckily, was, like when you watch, water go down sand, at the beach. I mean, like a little, like, tunnel that you create, or, when you're just watching water go down, like, the side of the sidewalk, or through the leaves, it kind of makes its own little natural path, like you watch the water through the dirt. Sorry to ramble on about that, but it just cuts through and hits the random weakest spots, and whatever was easy enough for this oil
Let's
to
see.
erode before it hit into the ocean, it was finally able to leak out into there. These dry land was what was left. See, like it still made like cuts and ravines underneath everything. So I'm gonna go with the foregone conclusion until I'm proven wrong that this whole beginning part of the dead zone was, well, not the beginning part. We're gonna cover
Hard
the
to do
latter
anything
parts down
without
below,
air.
but I believe the dead zone started from a huge oil spill from where they were extracting it outside of the mountain. And you know, you technically don't even need to. I did say we were gonna go to this bionucleus, but I think I'm gonna save that for another episode where we go into some of these facilities just on their own. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know that this might be a little ranty and a little clunky as I work my way through figuring out the, I guess you should say, process of these videos. But I just really appreciate the lore and the like subtle story building that they have all over this world. And I feel too many people just skip through it and don't think enough about what they're playing through and what they're looking at. And like, why is this freeway right here just sunk down? You know, why did it just collapse? I mean, it's like its supports just couldn't hold on to it. They got melted away. It's almost like this oil was. That's one thing. It just doesn't make sense that it's so hot that it melted everything and took it all away, or was it just such a quick, fast, uh, rush of oil and like flood that it just washed it all away that quickly? I'm, I, I suppose so. It's that's that's what I believe so far has happened. I'm gonna do more research on exactly if that's even possible in our real world. And we, in part two of the discussing the dead zone area, will delve into down here farther towards the World Eater and a little bit of just the oil spill right into the ocean and other parts of the dead zone that I'm curious about and want to discuss with you guys and think are worth showing or shedding a light on. But thank you so much. Like and subscribe, and
You're the
let me
scrap
guys know.
monster now.
Let me know, guys, what you think would have made this dead zone. Am I right? Am I wrong? Have you found evidence, that I don't know about? But come on, let's get a discussion going. That's the best part about these kind of games is our speculations and you know the stuff that hasn't been officially confirmed. So thank you so much, and look forward to my next videos. And if you want, you can watch my Let's Plays. They're also on this channel, and I just play through this game. I'm currently about to do my uh, Let's Play episode 10, so flying through them. Can't believe it. And I feel like I still have hardly explored the game. Thank you once again, folks. Appreciate it so much.
Back to your
And
own
until
stompers.
next time, whiz bang out.